What's up, peeps? Craigie B again. Last week I spoke about the issue of, the gift and the curse of, being an Olympian, like a high performance athlete, regardless of the sport, Also wanted to think more about that, about the transition. I mean, we're speaking about how it could be a gift to be an Olympian and have those goals and those targets that get you up every day in the morning to work hard and achieve those goals. And the curse of not having that anymore and having to try and find something else that you value as highly as that. Because that can be, for me, the biggest challenge that I've experienced of going from competing at a high level for the best part of 17 years, internationally for 17 years, and then having to come down from that, and then find something else. That's a big challenge, And then I was thinking about it and I was thinking, you know what? It's definitely a discussion we have to have. I feel like in some ways we are addicts, like maybe we should call ourselves Taekwondo holics or, whatever sport it is that you do, because I feel like you get so used to it, it becomes such an ingrained part of your life that whether you want to think of it as like a marriage, where it's like you have a divorce and it's a really bad breakup, depending on how you part with the sport, or if it's like, you continuously have, withdrawal symptoms from not being able to do it the way you used to, missing out on that high, you get from competing, training hard, pushing yourself to the limit. And so what I was thinking is that we tend to forget our athletes, after they're not in the limelight anymore, after they're not competing anymore. It's like I feel like we have to be careful of that. We've got to take care of athletes, post-career as well, post-athletic career, post-retirement, We have to take care of them. We've got to do a better job of that, And then I was thinking, one big thing came to me. I was thinking, you know what? There is a hell of a lot more retired athletes than there is active athletes. It's like, and I was thinking, you know what? That's crazy. I mean, because athletes come and go, they come and go. On the stage, they compete for a period. Some, like myself, I was competing for a pretty long time, 17 years. Most of the people that I came up with, they retired a good while before me, But there's also the athletes that come, they might get their results, compete for a short period of time, and then step out. But when you think about it, it's like the athletic career is what, especially in a sport like combat sports. Sometimes, depending on your weight category, some people push it to 40, but usually mid-30s, that's when you start to hang it up, In Taekwondo, sometimes it's earlier as well. But it's like, when you think about it, if you just say, your athlete career lasts 10, 15 years, think of all the people that have retired, and are still alive, but yet are still very, very intensely attached to that sport, and are still struggling to find something else that gives their life meaning, that gets them up every day, that can give them those highs and that sense of, value and fulfillment, and euphoria, whatever you want to call it, the kind of ecstasy you get when you're training hard, you're in the zone, you're hitting them targets, or you're hitting them mitts or them targets, and you're sharp and you're catching people with these techniques, or you're achieving a gold medal in these competitions, or you had a fantastic fight and you was on form. These kind of things give you a high, which for me, is hard to find anywhere else, And so for me, I feel like we need to make sure that, we don't forget about the athletes, that are no longer competing anymore. Because once you're an athlete, you're always an athlete, whether you're, retired, active or not active. And we need to do a lot more to take care of our athletes that are in transition, have already transitioned, or are, getting ready to make that transition. So I'll be interested to hear any thoughts you guys have on this, because I myself have struggled with it. I stopped competing in 2017, really, and even that was I stopped in 2016. 2017 was just an extra, but we're in 2020 now, and if I still have questions and still have struggles, and I've only stopped over the past 3 or 4 years, imagine people that that have been stopped for a longer period of time, or so we need to think about this. We got to take care of our athletes, because it's all right when they're entertaining us, or they can, or as a PD or a coach, they're performing for you well and keeping your job and making your team making your team successful. But what about when these guys are no longer valuable to you as part of your team or as entertainment for you? What do? We push them to the side and like a conveyor belt and bring in new athletes and forget about them? No, we got to take better care of them. And there's so much experience and value in these athletes that are no longer competing that we can't afford to throw them away. We can't afford to disregard them. So it's just another thought I had. I think it would be great, and I'm really considering doing like a series of like interviews with high level athletes that that have retired, are retiring, or considering retiring, because I think this is something that we need to discuss. And like I said, there is a hell of a lot more athletes retired than are active right now. And once an athlete, always an athlete. And we're all part of this community, and we need to take care of it. We've got to take care of those guys and support those guys. Let me know your thoughts on this. Peace.